unashamedly, and you will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say it. Say
you
the
will
M.
not have
Go on,
free
say.
speech.
Go on, say the M word. Go on.
What?
I'm
No,
not
don't invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here, you and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and asking her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish.
Fact.
It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do, but we
you know
already
what,
know
Mark,
she's
I hear
racist,
you.
and I don't want to invite
Mark,
a racial harm to me.
I
to
hear
prove
you.
it.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there. Thank you all very much.
This reaction to a potential hearing someone say a two-syllable word, which he says himself while screaming about how he doesn't want her to say it, is nothing less than psychotic. Total madness. I just think it's a power grab. Just to prove to people this is my word now and you just cannot use it. For me, it doesn't really affect me anymore, but I'm just surprised you get so angry. Like you lost control. Like justify, hey, I have the right to react this way. Piers shouldn't ask her to say it. For the same reason, he shouldn't ask a woman to say the F word on TV. It's vulgar. But to panic over a threat of a word while saying the word is absolutely lunacy. I totally agree with him.
What we're doing now is speaking to the American people and saying, you have got to be involved in this process, because if you are not, the planet that we're going to leave to our kids and our grandchildren will be significantly less habitable.
Wait a minute.
You know, Alyssa Slotkin, senator from Michigan, she said you shouldn't be using oligarch. It's over people's head. You've gotten criticized from other people. Free Beacon says Bernie Sanders spent $221,000 on private jets fighting the oligarchy tour, paid for by friends of Bernie Sanders. That you've spent millions of dollars in campaign funds on private jet travel over the years. How do you push back on both of those things?
When's the last time you saw Donald Trump during a campaign mode at National Airport?
No. It doesn't. But he's also not fighting the oligarchy.
No. You run a campaign and you do 3 or 4 or 5 rallies in a week. The only way you can get around to talk to 30,000 people. Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United waiting, 30,000 people are waiting? That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that. That's what campaign travel is about. We've done it in the past. We're going to do it in the future.
And, Alyssa Slotkin.
Donald Trump isn't fighting the oligarchy. Donald Trump is fighting your policy, which we call oligarchy, because you serve an oligarchy. You're telling me that I need to drive an electric car and have a gas stove? No, that's not allowed. Electric. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? We had this shutdown in Spain already. Nobody could cook but me with gas.
Nope. Stop talking. Go to jail.
And that's the mindset that I really don't enjoy. When somebody tells me he's doing it, so I should be doing it, but he's not telling you what to do, but I will tell you what to do, but that's a good thing.
I learned that racism is passed down generationally, so it's internalized, which makes sense. I was walking home, it was late at night, and this black guy walks towards me. And instinctively, I grab my purse, even though logically, I know he's not for sale. He did steal my wallet though.
I think jokes brings us together in the best ways, because once you start laughing about certain things, you can still see it as a bad thing, but you don't live in that bad moment. There seems to be more people near the white statue.
Don't play the race card with me, Fruit Loop.
A 13-foot bronze statue of a black woman on her phone built for Piazza della Signoria, Italy. Look, I'm not saying it's not art, but I think art has a deeper meaning than a person looking at their phone.
A plus size woman, I'm a plus size man, I'm African American, it's the African American woman statue. So just seeing another piece for me to stop and just have a moment with was very powerful.
Me being a plus size black woman, I kind of looking at it was just like, oh, I wonder what me as a small child would have thought looking at something like that. Representation.
The piece is part of a series called Grounded in the Stars, which Gene Cooney, director of Times Square Art, says confronts preconceived notions of identity and representation.
Look, I don't understand why. I like to see something so perfect so we can abuse it and be here. But once you normalize this, people might abuse it and go there. And that's why in 2020, since then, around that time, we started seeing plus-sized models. And it's not a bad thing, but usually I want you to live longer.
Inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another to try and create an understanding and basically encourage empathy.
Personally, I don't think it's going to encourage empathy, because if you're naturally skinny or if you're naturally in a very fit body, people are going to judge you because of this. It's already happening in a lot of places. But hey, we're not going to talk about that, because it's better to judge people that might be disciplined or have a natural body. That's the message I'm receiving.
No. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Chet, you ever smell a bitch from the Philippines? I'm just kidding. Smells like Jollibee.
It's not even supposed to mean. Guys, you ever smell the...
Yo, chill. What is...
It smells like fried chicken.
That was racist.
You're racist.
This literally depicts my relationship with my wife. Like, we don't repeat a joke to piss each other off, but sometimes, if it's just a little stupid and you relax, I think humanity would go, relationship would last longer.
A male-only conclave is a celebration of patriarchy. A Catholic church without women has never existed and never will. Smoke out sexism! Smoke out sexism! A woman's place is in the conclave. Smoke out sexism! God calls Catholic women to be deacons and priests. Smoke out sexism!
We are sending up pink smoke over the Vatican ahead of the start of the conclave later today. We are doing this because we know we've got a little window of time before the cardinals are sequestered inside that Sistine Chapel with no access to their social media and their phones, that they will see the pink smoke over the Vatican and they will know.
This seems to be in UK. So I would say, when are you going to do that with the imams? Their right to protest for this. Women represent 50% of the Catholic population, but no woman has a say in selecting the Pope. That gotta change. Everyone is equal in the eyes of God. No point in following centuries of old rules when the world has changed in a major way. I'm like, maybe that is true. They say a woman has to submit to a man and a man has to love his church like Christ. So that means Christ died for everybody. So that means the man has to die for somebody that is submitting to them. So unless you want to change that and die for me and I'll submit to you, I would agree.
They made their flight. You did. And you think, you're going to check me in. I bet you we won't.
Okay? I paid for a ticket.
And you
yeah, I paid for a
ticket. For Agent Assistant, and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that I.
Get on your flight.
Yeah, I just said that I would pay the $25.
And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check.
If I did that at my job, I would get fired. Not because you talk like that. The fact that you can actually...
And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought...
You're condescending. And he's late, he wants to pay. Even if he is vulgar, he is still the customer. The moment we normalize that I can be vulgar to you as a worker, to a customer, is the wildest thing that I never expected to see in the world. Who made you believe you're that much of a victim? I really wish, well, I know why.
Oh, slow down, hold on there.
You're not getting on your flight.
Because it's a policy. We don't control that.
You will never fly
You were
on
about to
Frontier
let me
unless-
check in. You were about to let me check in.
Oh,
and
make-
you decided
make-
that you ain't going to let
make
me check in.
Make me check you in. Make
You
me check
literally
you in.
work for a
Make
company
me
that
check
I
you
bought
in.
a
Make
plane
me check
ticket
you in.
for. I'm here 30 minutes before the
Can you
flight.
please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm not in your personal space.
How is it your personal space? It's very simple. I'm sorry, sir, you're late. Even with the agent fee, you can go on the plane. Maybe I can help you find another one, another time, or do something about it. But if you're late at such a time, even rushing, we're not allowed to do that. It's very simple.
Congratulations. You got yourself a job.
This is not your personal
This
space.
is my stationery.
This is not
I'm at
your
Frontier.
personal space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
We ain't got to worry about it. We ain't got to worry about it.
You don't have to
We ain't
worry
getting
about
on
it. You're literally not doing
ain't
your
gotta get on
job
no flight.
for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home.
I told you to stop putting the camera on me, sir.
I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket and they are not letting me check in. For no reason whatsoever.
Well, you said you're never flying the airline again, so we might as well help you out and have you not fly the airline.
I've already bought a ticket.
And even if he was disrespectful, I don't think you can justify that reaction with that answer and then recording the person. I don't know. There's something odd about this that I might be missing, but I've never was in a situation that I have to talk at somebody like that at my job.
We do have to make sure that our presentation is depicting not just truth, but the best part of our existence, which is our collective humanity.
The Park District is planning to clear away the larger Grant Park statue's base and redesign the plaza as a gathering space that will accommodate temporary artwork.
Like the mayor of Chicago, you don't have bigger things to worry about. So now you're going to change the statue. I'm like, okay.
And they're fighting each other. I said, why don't you let them fight? Why are we getting in the middle of it? I said, let them fight. Sir, we want to do it. They go in and they end up fighting both of them. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Let them fight.
I don't agree that people need to fight. I don't agree that we need to let them fight. But if I always have to fight by sending my kids to stop the fight, there comes a point I'm like, hey, maybe. Not very smart and pretty childish to say let them fight when two parties in question, India and Pakistan, are armed to the teeth with nuclear weapons. Jesus. The woke right are all sack of rock stupid. I'm like, wait a second. I can understand why they're worried. But when two kids fight, you punish them in a room. When two adults fight, you punish them in prison. And if you don't want Trump to send these people to prison, don't ask him to treat them like kids.
I am Corporal Carly McCann, Provincial Public Information Officer for the Nova Scotia RCMP. Thank you all for being here today. First, I acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the traditional and unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kma'ki known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years.
Press briefing by police about two missing kids start with a land acknowledgement. Canada is lost. I find it odd. I mean, I'm an immigrant in Holland, and Holland actually destroyed our country, but we never talk like that, saying that, you know what, we are very important, you did something very bad to us, and before we address the situation, we're gonna talk about our ancestry. You know what our country talks about? That we are strong and powerful, and we were able to forgive the Dutch people. And we don't want to talk about this again. We want to look forward.
She was hiding a secret.
13 anos em Minas Gerais. Tiago Lucas, de 30.
Andre Tiago Lucas is the reported father of Nunez's children. ICE says he was sentenced to 9 years of prison for the rape of a 13-year-old girl in his home country of Brazil.
Nothing surprises me anymore. Do I find it wrong? 100% wrong.
We shared our findings with Worcester County Sheriff Lou Evangelitis, an outspoken supporter of immigration reform in Massachusetts.
But the idea that someone has been documented that a Brazilian national fled the country because they were convicted for rape of a 13-year-old and could come to Massachusetts and not only disappear into the fabric of Massachusetts, but actually be living in a home that was a daycare center for young people.
You don't even need commentary for this.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush, hash, purple, skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, durloqueta, verdetta, welcome.